Hey, what's up guys, Max here. I wanted to make this video because there's a recent community post that was put out by Kabam saying, hey, you suck at the game, don't get frustrated, I suck too, and everybody sucks, right? And just to put out more knowledge and more information out there to the community, yeah, I'm not the best player of this game, even though I've been playing it for such a long time. I feel like players that just started playing it like 4 years ago are better than I am, you know? So here we are. And inside of BattleGrounds, it's a 1v1. It's a lot more competitive. The choices you make really affect the wins and W's that you get. Knowing the meta, playing the meta a lot, and realizing how fast of a fight or how reliable of a fight you can do, the more you do them, the more you realize this, is you become better and better. So here is a fight that I went up against. I'm using Shocker against Onslaught, and for me, this fight is, you know, because Onslaught is such a naughty AI defender, and that's what I think of him, is that it takes longer. I don't get the openings as quickly as any other champion, and so this fight for me on average is 50-60 plus seconds. Okay, I gave him a Kindred, but he went with Dr. Doom, as you can see his selection, and he's gonna go with Dr. Doom. Now he had a Jugs that you can see there at the top, because I'm hiding his name, because that's not the point of this video, is to put people on blast. It's to just generate knowledge and information. So he could have used Jugs on this Kindred fight, he could have used Kate Bishop on this Kindred fight, and he would have beaten me by the time for sure. Now that doesn't mean that he needs that's the only item that is needed to beat the opponent is time, but it is time on this specific meta because it's a nuke meta, and he would have won. Okay, now the other side of this is you need to learn and know how to do those fights, and that's another part of this kind of like idea that I'm trying to put together, is like, hey, getting informed about the meta early on so that you don't get as frustrated when it comes to these fights in these videos. So let's look at how this fight goes. Okay guys, so here's the results of the fight. Just like I said, about a minute long, 54 seconds on the clock. Let me know in the comments if there's definitely room for improvement when it comes to the speed, because of just being a little bit confident against that that AI, right? Now we're going to be seeing his results, right? We're going to be looking at 3 fights because we go all 3 rounds on this matchup, but again, talking about some of the options and what could have been or would have been, right? And I think this is where not most of the players out there, you know, when it comes to the community, are able to watch these videos or tune into live streams of BattleGrounds, because that's really where you pick up a lot of the knowledge and information. Or if you're in an active BattleGrounds alliance, competitive BattleGrounds alliance, where it has multiple players pushing for top placements and constantly playing. And by the way, they share that information, because you can be in one of those alliances and they just keep it to themselves, meaning they're a good player, they just don't have the time to share it, but you know, that doesn't help, right? But again, you can go to YouTube and find all these videos and find a lot of streamers putting out really good gameplay in a 1v1 BattleGrounds game mode. So here we go with a Juggernaut versus this Future Ant-Man. In this fight, I've done before where I've nuked the Future Ant-Man in like 30 seconds. It's just I couldn't get to my special 2 in time. I was really trying to push him to a special 2 and my special 2, but I couldn't get to it, and here we are. He just kept launching special 1, really throwing me off. So we're gonna go intercept with the special 2, but at this point, look at the armors that he's got, and we completely got hit on that special one. We're trying to reduce the armors, but he does do a great job at glancing, and he's just being really naughty right now. Okay, but we lost our power, which is fine. Not really. This fight is going really bad. Now he's got it's ruined. The fight's now ruined to me. Like, I go with the special 2, it does not KO him. He's just in the corner, and I'm just pretty much waiting for him to launch a special 3, and I'm like, is he gonna launch it? There he is, he launches it. So okay, my gameplay again when it comes to the fight didn't go well. You know, when it comes to these fights, sometimes they might be a little bit of an RNG based fight, and you could get the perfect RNG, and we've seen like screenshots of like crazy nukes where you're just like, how's that even possible? You know, it's just the way the fight played out, right? So he did a great job here at 43 seconds, completely taking down my rank 3 wolf, and just a couple of combos, which was great. Round 3, so I give him that naughty defender. Again, very annoying AI. It's not the defensive features on him, it's the AI. I go with the Sunspot, and he's gonna go with Juggernaut. Okay, he had 2 options. He could have gone Juggernaut. I've done that fight too. It's a 30-second fight, but it's tricky. You gotta make sure you time the evading on the special ones perfectly. Probably gonna have to do 2 of them. As long as Onslaught does them properly and quickly, you can do that fight in 30 seconds. So or if you just go straight to the special 2 with the relic, you should be fine as well. But on our end, taking a look at our performance here, almost didn't time it perfectly, but we did, you know, cut his second life into a chunk. There we go with an intercept, and you sneak in the special one. Don't wait for it, right? Just go and launch it. Here we are. Here's our results. 41 seconds. Pretty decent, I think, fight against that Nick Fury. And of course he's still in the fight, but he had 2 options, and so this is the dilemma. This is the issue. I think he could have possibly won this 3rd round. He had options. He had Kate Bishop, he had Jugs, and both of them can do this fight as long as the AI cooperates. So do you really suck at the game? I don't think so, and here's my issue. Sometimes we make the wrong choices. I think he could have won round 1 and just kind of taken me out round 2 and would have won the whole entire thing. But sometimes we make mistakes. Now we start comparing ourselves to other players out there that make little to no mistakes, and that's what probably frustrates us, and it feels like every single opponent is doing the same. You know, there's a lot of very skilled players out there. Once we start playing the game and we play against everybody in the world, there's a lot of talent out there, you know, and whether they are able to play as much as other players can, you might not realize that there's so much skill out there. So we really see it all the time in BattleGrounds, you know. And I would say do your best, and I try to tell that to myself, not to get frustrated when you do make the mistakes, you know. There's always gonna be the talented few that just make very little mistakes, and that's how they become really, really high up in the brackets of BattleGrounds, and become really good. And you just see them and you're like, damn, they just don't make mistakes, they play really well. But it's a combination of the draft, your choice of attackers, planning the fights on round 1, 2, and 3, kind of like seeing the future of how everything plays out, the champion knowledge, the champion speed knowledge, and kind of fight knowledge, you know. So there's so much. BattleGrounds is so complex. It started as an easy 1v1, but it's evolved a year later into this very complex game mode 1v1. And if you don't know that, and you're not consistent in playing and active in BattleGrounds, you're not going to get ahead. You're going to realize you're losing and losing and losing. And why can someone do this and I cannot? There's a special rotation to be done. There's a certain way that AI cooperates. We don't have much AI manipulation nowadays. There's still a little, but like you gotta dive in when it comes to BattleGrounds. Now, on the other side, you don't want to be that competitive. You just want to go in there, have some fun, have some good fights, and not lose as much. Then you still need to know some of that information and be able to perform that, but just know that you won't be able to get into the higher brackets inside the gladiator circuit. But I wanted to point this video out basically in this fight just because I saw it and I was thinking to myself, man, this guy could have really taken me out by round 2 and would have won, sealed, and he would have gone with a victory and moved forward, right? And I'm sure I've done those mistakes myself too. There's like gameplay mistakes that you saw me do right there with that Juggernaut and Future Ant-Man. So let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, like, you know, having to know all that information to be good at Battlegrounds, it does become frustrating, and sometimes you know, a little like maybe unencouraging that you don't want to push or continue playing Battlegrounds. But if you take it on as a challenge and say, hey, you know what, I want to get better. I might not get better overnight, over the next week, over the next seasons, but as long as I progress and recognize and remember, hey, this is how you play this champion in Battlegrounds, this is what you do, and you know, keep trying, you will get better. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. Take care. See you on the next one.